Hey everybody, this is Scoots. This is a new kind of experimental version of Sleep With Me we've never done before. So welcome. These are just bedtime stories from our podcast, Sleep With Me. And to make them feel fresh, these ones are from a couple years ago. So if you're a regular listener, you might get a refresh. And if you're new, these are just bedtime stories from a show called Sleep With Me. They're strange, they're meandering, they're a little bit different. And all this is made possible by listeners like you, regular listeners like you. And so I just want to let you know that's how we're able to put the show out. And so if you are a fan of Sleep With Me, you listen to it on a regular basis, please consider supporting the show. You get ad-free episodes, you get ad-free story-only episodes, tons of other cool stuff at Sleep With Me Plus. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But if you're in a position and you have some money every month, or you say, hey, maybe I don't watch that streaming service, I'd rather give it to a podcast, think about your favorite podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, and support that podcast. If it is Sleep With Me, I consider supporting the show would be great. But if it isn't, or there's a podcast you listen to way more, brings you a lot of value during the day, please support that podcast. Podcasting is going through a different time right now, and your favorite podcast, the one you get the most out of, could use your support the most. So consider supporting it however they request support. Just check it out, like listen to the show or check out their website, or consider supporting Sleep With Me. If Sleep With Me, you say, oh no, Sleep With Me is the one I listen to the most, sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for a trip. It's time for a sleepy look at the TV show. It's not a TV show. The show, the program, The Good Place. But I don't think we don't actually like. I don't know. We're covering season 2, so I guess it's not a spoiler to say. We won't be in the good place. We won't be in the bad place. There may be a visit to the medium place, and I'm not sure. I guess we're in a version of the place, like it's the architects, the neighborhood that has a bunch of numbers is where we are. But hopefully you'll just be yawning and snoozing and breathing restfully, because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. This is a quick message here. If you get a lot out of Sleep With Me, if you're a regular listener, you like these new things we're trying out, like the story-only version of the show. If you're new, don't worry about any of this. But if you're a regular listener of Sleep With Me, or you're a regular listener of any podcast, if you have a favorite podcast and it's not Sleep With Me, that's totally cool. If you have podcasts you listen to way more, or you get way more value out of, I totally understand that. Consider supporting that podcast. Podcasting as an industry is kind of going through a weird phase right now. Direct support from listeners it seems like it's going to be the future of most shows. And so consider supporting the podcast you really love. And you could do that. You could find out, you could listen to the show and see how they ask to be supported, or reach out to them and say, hey, how can I support you? Or if you can't afford, a few dollars a month, you say, hey, how else can I support you? But if Sleep With Me is the one, Sleep With Me Plus is the best way to support Sleep With Me. Sign up for Sleep With Me Plus. Not only you get an unbelievably sweet, different ways to listen to the show, but it's a huge help for us to be able to do stuff like this. But yeah, think about what your favorite podcast is, and then go ahead and go to their website, or if you already know how they like to be supported, support that show. Thanks and good night. All right, everybody, we're talking about Season 2, Episode 8, Leap to Faith. And I'll read through my notes first. Sean's at desk, red report in folders, covers. I noticed this, I didn't think it came up in the episode. There's a small black box on Sean's right. I thought it was going to play out in the episode, and I wanted to pay attention to it, but it doesn't. I don't think it plays. I don't know. Zoom on Michael, hair out of whack, Michael shocked, I'm jubilant. High council promoted, thumbs down, senior staff pin, Chapter 2, everybody's in the waiting room. We see the Soul Squad, we see the tea carts. Chidi standing, arms crossed on the if you're on Chidi would be on the left side of the room. If you were facing Chidi would be on the right side of the room. Or no, maybe not. Maybe if I was facing, maybe Chidi thinks Chidi's on the right, and I think Chidi's on the left. I'm just not good at. And then there's like a love seat or a sofa. Eleanor and Tahani are sitting down, and Jason is sitting on the arms of the sofa. I did a diagram, but again, I didn't, it's from above, so I don't know. I said, well, which side's the wall? But I think Chidi's on the left if we're facing them. If we're the wall that says, welcome to the good place, Chidi may be on the left or on the right. Jason covers everything, or Cool Cloud. Cool Cloud. He saw a cool cloud. I don't know what that covers everything means. I think he covers everything with Tahani. Sean comes out at the open. Michael and Sean. Oh no. Janet is a little drunkish. Magnets. I feel fine. Then the Soul Squad is having a conference at Eleanor's house. Tahani throws some shade over Ben Affleck. Eleanor looks at table from the episode where Michael had his breakthrough at the end of the last episode before he went into his office and Sean was there. And again, strong thematic. Wow. Is Good Place considered a sitcom? Because there's strong growth and change, so I don't think it is a sitcom. No offense to sitcoms, but Tahani shuts Jason down. Argue with you, open with you, ogre with you. Eleanor smiles. What? Who's with me? I'm down to argue with you. What's his Keebler Kyrie said watched Kierkegaard. Oh, what's his name? Keebler said Watchworth, sandwich something. Kierkegaard, leap of faith. No, more of a leap into faith. And Eleanor says, we got to trust Michael. Shook by Derek something. Shook by Derek Charm. Eleanor trusts him. Sit of doubling. Sit of doubting. Bit of doubting. Jason slow shans. Gold time cops. Don't worry, some of this will become apparent when I actually run the episode. Gold time cops. Jason and Sean task. Vicky shows up. They can't be Jason and Sean. Vicky shows up all mad. Jason and somebody talk, though. Maybe? I don't know. No robots. Mama wants a promotion. You heard? Mama wants a promotion. You heard? Town square, smoky. Table, so there's a table, where there'd be, like at a wedding or a presentation. So long table in the front of the room with a podium in the middle. The Soul Squad's on the left of the table, though they would say they were on the right of the podium. Though if you're facing them, you'd say they're on the left. If you were giving seat assignments, I don't know, I guess you'd say you're sitting to the right of the podium. There's a thumbs down symbol on the podium. Sean is sitting on the right with flowers and water. Michael whispers to Janet. Vicky watches. All the Bad Place people are full of joy. It's a comedy roast. Derek Bortles. Michael's wearing a velour suit, kind of a blue-gray color. The demons love his humor, even though it's not very good. And then at 11 minutes left in the episode, a party really starts, which we'll pause for after we run through my notes. So I was wrong, Eleanor says, and then we cut to commercial because they think, oh no, we really are going to the bad place. Then we're at the night of the party. Bad Janet is DJing. Michael sucks now. Blake Bortles is a cool name. Derek Bortles, something name. Eleanor smiles. It's a dumb name. Oh, so that Eleanor realizes that's a trick. So there's a 3-headed dragon at some point during the party. Michael whispers to Janet again. Michael has a very confident look on his face. Vicky tries to something free. Victoria comes maybe. Oh no, she calls her Victoria. Janet calls her Victoria. Pause for the morning after. The humans are escaping. Party's over. Call another train. Vicky, you didn't. You aided the humans. Sam, the neighbor flood. Scan the neighborhood. Gas for Vicky. Pre-disaster. Gooey cocoon. Michael asks Sean for something. Everyone else on the train. Train pulls out. Michael's so sad. It was like the Goonies a little bit. I don't know why I put that. I guess he was so sad he went over the top. Me, it was like when, I guess it may reminded me of the moment with Chunk and I forget the other character's name. You're gonna live with us now, Sloth. Leap into faith. Janet hungover. Flashback. Use Janet's Derek clues. Transform last swing. Runs off. Use Derek to drive the train. Hang on to your butt cheeks. You under the trolley. 1,200 clues. So glad. Framed Vicky. Something smooth. Vicky. Something hiding. Something. Oh, apologize for roast. Take a moment. We got a chance. Hope and Mindy, like pretend, for Vicky. All right, so let's run the episode now. And Michael's ties loose. Sean's there. Shut the door. Have a seat. Zoom on Michael. Red reports. We all laughed at you, Michael. Thomas Edison of incompetence. So picks up right where the last left off. You pulled it off. Things are amazing. These reports are remarkable. Humans are really unhappy. Then even our most successful bad place things. I'm jubilant. Sean's shows no emotion. So, and we're gonna expand it. You're gonna oversee things. You're being promoted. There's your staff pin. Michael still has a gray check sport coat on from the last couple episodes because not that much time's elapsed. He's like, this is all I ever wanted. Holy cow. Are we happy? Goes to the good place. Chapter 22. Yeah, Chidi is on the left and Jason's on the right. He's really relaxed. Eleanor has one foot up on the sofa. And they're talking about something. Jason's making jokes. And then Tony says, Jason, we got to talk about stuff. And he says, yo, Cheetah, you want to hear about the school cloud? Sean calls them in. Oh, they didn't realize Sean was there, I guess, until then. Michael says, I'm putting the burn on everybody. Surprise, suckers, you're in the bad place. They laugh. That's right, nerds. Everything around you is elaborate way to fool you. Designed just for you. So we're in the bad place, Eleanor says. Why are you then they're like very confused, obviously, and unsure. You do introduces Sean. I guess that was their first time meeting Sean. Sean doesn't know about the reboot, so he only thinks this is the second one. And you're going to go to the bad place, and it's not going to be fun. Michael's laughing. He's even moving around. Michael's, it's all true. Yes, it is, Eleanor. There's a zoom on Eleanor because he says, you're a rube. You thought you could be a better person. And philosophy doesn't help. Fear and trembling. Ha ha ha. He says boring and stupid. I said, that sounds like kind of sleep with me. I wouldn't use the S word. I'd say goofy. And Michael says, let's have a farewell party tonight. Jam to some tunes and trash the neighborhood. Maybe Janet can help. Janet, she's in, they think maybe your Janet would help. No, Janet's not going to help. She's wearing mega knits. I don't understand this little plot point because it said Michael was the one that had the good place, Janet's. But, maybe because Janet's neutral. Now they're at Eleanor's. Jason's throwing a moss ball around. Cheaty's in the butterfly chair. And they're all sitting down, kind of debating stuff. Eleanor's in the background, really. Then she looks over the table. She says, no. Can't believe we would trust anybody from the bad place. No, we're out of options. She's like, maybe we should just tell on him and make a deal. Maybe we should go to Mindy St. Clair's. Those are our only options. Tanya really is not nice to Jason. She goes, yeah, you can't weigh in. And he's like, I was going to agree with you. Oh, okay. And they say, Eleanor, what do you think? And she says, I think we go. We got to trust Michael. Really good confidence. She stands. We have to assume he's on our side. Who's with me? Nobody. Then she kind of goes over things. She's taking a leap into faith. Kierkegaard, super depressing religious guy. The buzzkill. Kira Sedgwick, Keebler's Elves. No. Kierkegaard. Yeah. Michael used his name. Maybe he was telling us to take a leap of faith. That was his thing? No, leap into faith. So Michael wants us to trust him. Spoke to him after the Derek thing. He was shook, talking about being human and ethics. Eleanor's like, I believe him. And Tahani is saying, yeah, I don't know. They're talking about pancakes or something, crepes maybe. She goes, I don't think Michael's on the bad side. I think he's on the good side. Cheaty's really thinking about it. Why would he say leap of faith? Why wouldn't he call it something else? Use other words. Jason says, this is getting out of hand. Maybe we should tell an authority figure. And they say, dude, where do you think we are? And then they're back talking about Tahani and Jason being together. How'd you come up with that idea? Vicky storms in. Michael says, let me talk to her in the hall. She says, yo, you taking all the credit? And Michael says, don't worry, this could work out great for us. We just got to play it right. We can't let Sean know that something's off. So she says, okay. That happens, we're all going down. So spread the word. No one talks about the reboots. Vicky says, fine, you better make this right, though. Mama want a promotion, you heard? And she walks off. Then we go to the roast situation. Michael's, he's really mean. Everybody's drinking out. A lot of people are drinking out of red Solo cups, which is something, that bad place people might do. There is yellow and red roses, 4 bowls of them at the table in water glasses. Janet just dipped her finger in her water glass. Michael burns Jason. There's also ashtrays. Jason's playing with an ashtray, I just noticed. Again, at some season, we'll see the bad place that makes sense. He says, yeah, Jaguars. He's just making fun of Jaguars. Everything's very over the top. And Jason's like, dude, the Jaguars aren't that bad. And Eleanor says, don't worry about it. They're just trying to make fun of, Michael's just acting. And then he goes after Tahani. And He's very good at pretending like he's reading. It's very good fake acting, even by the Bad Place people, even though they're not real. I mean, they're not really pretending to act. They're just laughing at Michael's jokes. And then he goes after Eleanor, calling her, a demon. And how could you think you deserve a medium place? You're not a good person. I say, wow, that really hurts. But Eleanor's looking at him with still confidence. And she even says, yeah, she talks about Chidi and how, he's being funny because he's not nice. Chidi's like, we're good friends, though. And Michael says, don't worry about it. I don't need to talk about Chidi because no one talks about Chidi. And he's going on and really good sport coat or suit coat. I can't see his pants. Navy pocket square and bow tie. Some people are drinking out of bottles. Sean kicks back and laughs. Michael kicks up, and then the party starts. Giraffe running, fireworks, smoke, giraffe, got to commercial, then it's night. Bad Janet. There's like some sort of spinning board like you'd see at a raffle with the money wheel, like a money wheel. And they're playing Puddle of Mud. Yeah, people are still drinking out of solo cups, having bonfires. Grandma got run over by reindeers up next. And all Bad Place people are having a time. Soul Squad's watching. Even there's a bonfire in the fountain. And Eleanor says, yeah, maybe I was wrong. And Donnie says, I can't believe it. And she just says, yeah, I guess we got to tell Sean about the reboots and try to see if he'll go easy on us. Or free Janet and go to Mindy's. Then Jason says, I can't believe he doesn't remember Derek Bortles' name. Blake Bortles' name, not Derek Bortles. That's not a cool name. And that's when Eleanor says, oh. Then we see the three-headed dragon. Confident Michael whispers, and then Vicky rolls up on Michael. Relax, Vicky. Enjoy yourself. It's a party. Come on. Then Vicky says, hey, what does Michael keep whispering to you? Something, something, Vicky, something, something. Can I braid your hair? Then Vicky's trying to let Janet go. And she kind of gets caught by Gail. She's still trying to free Janet. Get your own bracelets. This next morning, people are waking up. DJ's still playing the music. And same songs. Puddle of Mud and Grandma got run over by a reindeer at the together. People are getting up from sleeping. There's graffiti. Great work, Sean says to Michael. Then Vicky says, I got some interesting information. Oh, humans are getting away. Train goes off. Vicky tries to frame Michael. Sean says, scan for the humans. Call another train. How'd they free Janet? Somebody tells on Vicky. Oh, Gail does. She says, yeah, Vicky was trying to do it. And they say, oh, no, Vicky, were you jealous of Michael? She says, no, Michael's a liar. There's people in the back. There's some really good. I didn't notice this until just now, but you should definitely watch. Let's see what time is left. So there's about 7.5 minutes left in the episode. You got to watch the extras get on the train drunk and hungover. Really good stuff. Bad Janet does the neighborhood, scans the neighborhood. I didn't find any of the humans. I did find some gas in my rear. Vicky gets cocooned. It's very gooey. We're going to have to keep this on the down low. Everybody's got to keep it quiet. Michael, you shut the neighborhood down. How do we get the humans back from Mindy's? Sean says, I'll figure that one out. I'll start the papers. Get rid of this neighborhood. We'll see you later, buddy. Train heads out, and we see the Soul Squad hiding on the tracks. And Jason's laughing. Everybody else is stressed. There's a zoom on Michael. He starts crying. So, like, over the top in just a very interesting way. And he hugs Eleanor. She says it's okay. Janet still has her bracelets on. Then they go back to the train station. He takes off her bracelets, and they run through. Wait a second. How did this all work out? Leap into faith. Michael says, I left you clues. And Janet says, I'm hungover, so tell me recap how you figured it out, but quietly. Michael sent us a code. We had to crack it. Jason figured out the first clue. Derek, Blake Bortles, Derek Bortles. So it's like a little bit like a mystery. And then we see Eleanor crack it. Wait a second. Michael couldn't forget Blake Bortles' name. You say it 1,000,000 times a day. So he must be telling us to use Janet's Derek for something. There was clues in the roast. Let's go to the train station and brainstorm. So then Eleanor goes, okay, what did he say? Tahani, anything meaningful for you? My life was pointless and empty. But no, something we didn't know that stood out. The end of the party, the last song. Okay, last song. There's an idea there. The host would leave during the last song. That doesn't happen. So maybe we're supposed to wait till the end of the party when everyone's most distracted. Use Derek to drive the train, Chidi says, because he has Janet's powers. Then they call it, Janet comes in, go get Derek from your void. So I'll get Derek. Derek's good at driving trains. Also, the payoff at the end is really good with Derek and Mindy St. Clair. So they say, okay. And then they say, wait a second, must be another clue. When should we go? And how? Well, not a medium place. You don't deserve it. This is the place you're supposed to be, Eleanor. Okay, so we have to stay here. So it's a bit of a jump, but it makes sense. So Derek's supposed to take the train, but we shouldn't get on there. And then it says, Chidi, didn't you want to be under the trolley? Oh, yeah. So we hide under the train at the end of the party, and you drive off. So you do that at the last song of the night, Derek. Okay. And then we'll fly solo, maximum Derek. And then we hit it, and then no one knew. They scanned for us, but we were under the train, so they couldn't see us. We got all the clues. Michael says I left 1,200 clues. But, you're human, so your brain's good. But you got enough to figure it out. How did you escape to? Well, I framed Vicky. Not exactly ethically. I just whispered stuff in Janet's ear, made her paranoid. Something, Vicky, something's what you whispered. So Janet was able to tell Vicky the truth. And then they free Janet. They frame her for the escape. Oh, boy. Guys, I want to apologize. I had to sell it since everyone was watching. That was funny, right? No. Tahani was good. And then they're happy. All the bad place. We might actually have a chance to get to the real good place. Everything we wanted, Chidi says. And they say, I hope they like Mindy's present, which was Derek and some other things that... Vicky was looking to ski in the powder, or snowboard in the powder, fresh powder. So Mindy says, finally a companion I can work with, and the episode ends. All right, so we'll just roll into the next episode. Let's see, Michael. It picks up right where we left off. They're leaving the train station. Get out of this miserable shirt hole, not so fast. And Michael says, it's not easy getting to the good place. There's no train. I have to make up a vehicle. And Jason says, is it Optimus Prime? And there's multiple great Optimus Prime jokes. And Jason has this great moan he makes. But Eleanor says, we're in a hurry, so let's go. And then there's a joke with Tahani in business class. So Michael pulls up these plans. He starts trying to figure it out. It looks like an astrolab. Janet, he says, Janet, build this. Oh, forgot to log in with my security question. Give me a second. My childhood cores off. And then a balloon, a hot air balloon, a golden hot air balloon appears. Jason says, dope. We're going to a good place. I just saw some, what does that say? Oh, rest in eternal misery, suckers. That's one of the pieces of, and then another one says rest in pee. So that was like some of the bad place notes they left. A gold balloon, Jason calls shotgun. Ultimate shotgun riding on the top. Good place, chapter 23. I think it's called Best Self, or is that all it's called? Yeah, Best Self. And they're having their last batch of Froyo. Jason enjoyed the Froyo. No one else did. And then they say, okay, what's your good place? Because Jason hopes he gets more Froyo in the good place. But, this was giving me a tummy tum-tum, so that's how I knew it wasn't going to be the good place. Eleanor says, a beach, Mai Tais, and being able to catch up on my texts on my phone. Tahani says, together, but separate houses would be great. Why more Froyo? Chidi wants an unlimited library, philosopher heroes, rigorous intellectual debate, and air conditioning. Soulmates, hope they're real. He goes, all of us get soulmates. Janet comes back. Okay, who's ready to go ballooning? And there's this white portal they have to walk through, which Janet will say, only those who have got self-realization can go through there, where their soul shall be weighed, and the best version of herself or passage will be denied. And Eleanor says, I think I am the best version of myself. With Chidi's training, I think we're going to be fine. I'm going to go for it. She takes a breath. She steps through it, turns green. And she was like, I didn't even believe anything I was saying, but whatever. Tahani goes through it, turns green. Jason crosses his fingers. It goes green. Chidi smiles like this big funny smile. It goes red. And Jason goes, okay, it's a pattern. Green, 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 green. Green, green, green. Green, 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 red. Chidi says, yeah, I had some doubts and some, so maybe that's what's causing this. And they go back to the town square. They talk about it. She says, this is our best versions of ourselves. But it can't be because there was so many 802 versions of us. I don't know if this is my best self. What if it's 85 or 322 or 558? And Jason says, or 420. And he goes, who knew if there was even the best Chidi yet? So he's stressed. This Chidi might be an imposter. And Eleanor says, calm down. Like, you made all of us better. So we became the best versions of ourselves because of your help. So it doesn't matter, 492 or whatever. Because the best version of me is my effect on the world around me, not my self-image. Oh boy, deep, deep stuff there. Deep cut. And then Eleanor says, okay, let's go back and weigh ourselves, go through the portal. But then they show a quick shot of her having doubts. Chidi goes first, gets on board. It's a really nice effect, too, the level of green. Tahani goes second. She gets on. Jason crosses his arms and his fingers like a water slide. Eleanor's got Stan Smith's on. She says, she goes red. Chidi's in my head. Cuts a commercial. She says, okay. And then she said, I took this necklace from your house, Tahani. I apologize for stealing that. Still red. Okay, then we have this gift basket. Let's take a look at this thing. Janet's holding a gift basket. It has, let's see if can I zoom on that? Oh, I kind of can. Cut. There's chips, some sort of egg. It looks like a giant bell. Probably some bags of candy or something. Eleanor says, remember when I was on the tape at Mindy's and I was vulnerable and honest? That Eleanor's better than this one. And she goes, that's not easy for me to say, but, that's a better version of myself. So, and they say, well, Michael, tell us about the reboot. What reboot was that? He goes, 119. Instead of yogurt, it was kebab places. And he goes, you had a pet that went to the bathroom a lot. She goes, and Eleanor says, what about Chidi and I's relationship? Well, those ethics classes, a lot of time together. One night you handed him a tissue before he sneezed, and that made him fall in love with you. That simple act. Then you took a walk by a lake, had your first kiss. Michael doesn't like the idea of humans kissing. He's not in for that. And I don't know, relationship bloomed after that. And Tony says, okay, there's some we all got to talk out our relationships. So let's do that. And then, or she goes, why don't you stay behind and I'll go ahead, book a table like an advanced team. And with the bat, you can stay behind. So then she turns red. She tries to tell the machine who she is. Janet says, I'm the best version of myself because I'm constantly updating. And then Eleanor says, no, you're not, because you haven't talked about your feelings with Jason. You haven't talked that out. Love triangle. And she goes, no, it's a 5-dimensional blob, love is. Janet tries to get on the balloon. The machine goes to Christmas red and white stripes. Michael gets a tummy tum-tum because everybody's disagreeing. And he goes, oh, I'm having a lot of emotions. After sad. He goes, you're only supposed to have 2 emotions. They say, Michael's, what's going on? He goes, well, the problem isn't any of you. I faked it. This balloon's a fake. I don't know how to get to the good place. Never have, never will. And Eleanor says, wait a second. And Michael says, sorry. Cut to commercial again. And then they say, okay, so you had a plan to get us to a good place. That was all made up. Okay. Michael says, yeah, I thought if I could buy some time, I could figure it out. Tried a billion ways. 1,012,000, actually. None of those worked. The only way so far to get to the good place is to be a good person on Earth. Tahani's miffed. Everybody's mad. And Michael said, but while I was trying to figure that out, I was taking the ethics, learning it was bad to lie. So I failed at a good place, and I learned out there my ways. Rock bottom for a demon. But I really did want us to get in. Jason says, so what happens now? Well, Sean's going to figure out Mindy's, then he'll figure out somebody was helping you, realize that's me, and then we'll be in the bad place again. Back where we started, and you're mad. Eleanor says, no, I'm disappointed. And he realizes that it's worse. Are we out of options? Not completely. Eleanor doesn't give up. We can do what shell shops have always done when the chips are down. Drink heavily, ignore our problems. Janet, 1 million bottles of booze, please. So we go back to the town square. And there's some music playing. There's some tables and lights. And Tahani sits down with Jason. And he talks about wishing he could pop the balloon. And Tahani says, listen, I think it's best we, take a break here. End our relationship. Probably I better find my own self-worth and happiness. In the past, I do encounter obstacles, and I say, let me speak to your manager. And, there's no one that can fix things for me but me. And Jason talks about his mom was a manager at a pet store that he borrowed some stuff from with his mom, but it was also a dream. And Tahani laughs and says, okay, thanks. Kisses him on his cheek. Eleanor's drinking margaritas with Chidi. And they're buzzed. She says, geez, just in case we're ethically doomed, I do have feelings for you. So And I know you don't feel the same way, so don't say anything. And that fills me with anger and confusion because, but I just wanted you to know the truth. Chidi looks up and she goes, I don't want to hear what you have to say about it. And Chidi goes, here's the thing about me. You know the sound a fork in a garbage disposal makes? That's how my brain is. I said, maybe you should listen to Sleep With Me, Chidi. Constant grinding. Things I'm afraid of, things I want to come or want to want. But the point is, we met under pretty wild circumstances, and that just makes the grinding harder. I wish we'd meet the way normal people would meet, like at a philosophy lecture. Or you come by my office looking for help with philosophy, and Eleanor goes, that's not how normal people meet. And then they get on the dance floor. She makes a toast. We don't know which version of ourselves this is, but who cares? This is the good people we've all become. To Eleanor, our unofficial leader, you have some heart and grit in that scrappy little frame. Tahani says, that's the nicest thing you'll ever say, babe. To Janet, the best robot, not a robot. To a girl, not a girl. Jason says, straight up hottie, yes. And Janet says, they say, Janet, why don't you say something? She goes, Janet's typically don't give speeches. And then they say, Michael, how about a toast? Who's the best? Michael's definitely the best version of himself, Chidi says. He admitted he made a mistake, admitted he was wrong. That makes him better than 90% of humans. And Eleanor says, it wasn't Michael's fault. We couldn't have got there too. We're not, none of us are that great. The point is, we forgive you. So deep, so much stuff in this little simple box. Just try your best. That was my favorite line, and I talked over it. Hold on, let me rewind. So Eleanor says, after she's, she goes, we forgive you. You tried to find a way to the good place. And that's the greatest thing someone can do. Just try your best. So we make you an honorary human. They toast, and now it's kind of champagne. Here's the human starter kit we put together for you. Car keys to lose. It says Michael starter kit. Band-aids for human bodies. Stress ball that I'll, think about recycling and never will. Thinking I'll use it one day. And like a book on food and stuff. Stuff I have no real use for. Welcome to being human, to Michael. Then they do some dancing. There's fun dancing. Jason does a robot. Janet does some cool reverse dance. Jason and Chidi have a little dance off. Then there's some slow dancing. Eleanor and Chidi do some real close slow dancing where she puts her head against his chest. His eyes are closed. He's holding her hand. Then there's the 5 a.m., 4 a.m. in the park partying after you've been partying all night thing. Picnic. Text comes in from Sean. Shut everything down. Get on the train. We'll find the humans. Don't worry about it. Sorry. We'll make them soup. Sorry. Didn't mean to say soup soon. Okay, bye. And then it kind of puts up a doll thing. What do you guys think the bad place is going to be? Jason says a Skrillex concert waiting for the bass to drop, and it never does. Eleanor says they're camping. I wouldn't camping's not my thing. Chidi says, well, I'm pretty good at that. Making everything tough. Tony says Swiss Alps. In the off season in autumn. And you'll probably end up running the bad place. And she's kind of doing a little bit of Tahani. And then they're all making fun of it. And then she goes, wait a second. And then Tahani thinks of the solution. We should ask for the manager. I thought there was a judge we could talk to, Michael. Disputes between the good place and the bad place. A head honcho. We could wag a finger at disapprovingly. Michael says the judge really rarely talks to us. Plus, you got to go through a portal. We can't get to the portal because we'd have to go through the bad place in plain sight and then reach and pass through the portal without getting caught, convince the judge to hear us out, even though we didn't go through the case isn't winnable. Eleanor takes a swig from a wine bottle and says, let's do it. Jason does his half smile. What do we have to lose? Come on. Michael's breathless. All I wanted to know is what it feels like to be human. Now we're going to do the most human thing of all. Something futile with a ton of unearned confidence and fail spectacularly. Get up, everybody. Get some rest tonight. Tomorrow we're going to the bad place. First thing. Cuts. We go back to Eleanor's house. Chidi says goodbye to his chalkboard. Eleanor says goodbye to her big shoe to small car friends. Goodbye house. Goodbye whatever was postmodern. Michael's at the train station. Bad Janet shows up. He marbleizes her as she's kind of doing her boarding speech. So she's marbleized. He throws her. Oh, no, he doesn't. He just picks it up. Are you okay to leave this fake good place behind? This is funny. So let me read this dialogue. Eleanor says, I'm okay with you guys. As long as I'm with you guys, I'm always in the fake good place. And Eleanor says, wait a second. He goes, okay, the real bad place was the friends we made along the way. No, doesn't work. In a way, the good place was inside the bad place all along. Or the bad place all along. Technically, we'll give it to you. I made an morphism, or however you say it. And then he says, next stop, the actual bad place. And then we watch the neighborhood deteriorate around them as the train slowly pulls out. And Michael's whole neighborhood goes into kind of a cubular thing, floats off, and the episode ends. But don't worry, we still have a few minutes here to read through my notes. Chapter 23. Jason, Tahani, Froyo, ill, Mai Tais, Eleanor's phone, everyone wishes, wrong up a suite and soulmates, balloon, cool, end, we got this, shirt tail, Sade, Eleanor gives, grow in I go. Tahani in, Jason eyes closed, fingers crossed, oh dip. Chidi does not make it, doctor freak out, and not just a metaphor. 85, imposter, this is simple. You debate 492 or who I am, my effect on others. Come on, dorks. Eleanor's Questar face. Chidi goes green. Tahani. Janet. Big basket of ? Eleanor. Nope. Give necklace. That's even better than these. Robert 119, reheats 11 arrow, pause at 11:30. Maybe that's what that we looked at for basket. Oh yeah, we looked at the basket. Lake water, first kiss bloomed. Tahani, everyone who is green, advanced team. It is I, Tahani. Step into scale, Xmas colors, I think I broke it. Michael, so many emotions. Something, it is a fake, no idea how to get into the good place ad. So lie, Bitcoin maze plus 12 phones. Michael apologizes, a human error of my ways. So what happens next? Not mad, disappointed, not completely out of options. When chips are down, pause. Jason and Tahani talk balloons. You and me cool. Spoke to your manager. No one who can fix it. It was all human. Kiss on the cheek. Drunk Eleanor and Chidi. Magnetism. They are in balloon. Chidi's brain is like a fork in a garbage disposal. Met the way normal people meet. Eleanor laughs at him. Toast. I like who we are now. That's all underlined. I like who we are now. Remember that. One more toast to Michael. At least you tried. We forgive you. Just try. Human starter kits. No real use for that, to being human. Dance party. Unforgettables playing. Slow dance. Drunk late night picnic. Laughing Jason takes what will bad place be? Swiss Alps? That's it. Speak to the manager. Hand wag, finger at it. Rarely hears cases, portal, walk through bad place. Next time, scenes, let's do it. Most human thing of all. Get some rest going to the bad place. Eleanor's talking to Chidi, challenge, to the big shoot, small card friends. Hours, close, train station, 822, paperclip, marbled. Long at, I'm with you guys. Michael Clapp, Plunic, next stop, actual bad place. So yeah, the next stop is the actual bad place, and your next stop is Dreamland or another episode. I'll be here with you, but first let's do some thank yous. Thanks, everybody. All right, I want to thank everybody who became a patron recently. William, Olivia, and Stephanie, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Nicole, Deefa, and Mitchell, thanks, and good night. Isla, Kirsten, and Brenda, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Joe, Leslie, and Erica, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Jelena, Patty, and Mary Allen, thanks, and good night. Hannah, Shania, and Justin, thanks, and good night. Emily, Stephen, and Jessica, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Adam, Herxer, and Myrna, thank you. Thanks, and good night. And Melissa, Jacob, and Kelly, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Thanks, everybody, for supporting the show. I couldn't do without all of you, and good night. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots with like a tuck you in message here for our bedtime story podcast. We're trying out, and I kind of said this, free way to support Sleep With Me and bedtime stories from Sleep With Me is join our referral program, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, R-E-F-E-R. You get rewarded for introducing people to a free version of Sleep With Me, including access to Sleep With Me Plus. But most of all, just think about what your favorite podcast is or one of your favorite podcasts, and then support that podcast. It doesn't have to be Sleep With Me, but just to support your favorite podcast, because they could use your support right now. And if you decide, Sleep With Me is actually my favorite podcast, well, wow, blushing, seriously, even though it's imaginary here in this context, and support it at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Or listen to a show you love and see how they want to be supported. Thanks.